Yes guys, what is up? Welcome to Supercars of London. Good morning from Berlin. At 10 to 4 this morning, my alarm went off. I took a car to Gatwick Airport with Mr. Calms, who is getting his DSLR out already because Nissan UK have invited both of us to drive this back to the UK, over 1,000 miles. Welcome to the 2020 Nismo GTR. Over the next 48 hours, this video is going to cover our entire route back to the UK as we get to grips driving this car. Now, I've got very little experience driving a Nissan GTR, so this is going to be one hell of a learning curve, and there's no better place to do that than a German autobahn. Oh, these seats are upright.
Oh, hello.
We've got probably around a 12-hour drive, so these seats best be comfy.
Big test for these seats.
We've been told that they are fully new Recaro seats with reinforcement to allow for a more...
And Mr. Tamura, who is the Chief Product Specialist for the GTR, he assured us that the Nismo still carries the GT characteristics of a car and it's not too hard, so...
We're about to find out!
We will find out.
Right. Do I just paddle it up, or no? Auto. Is there a electric park brake somewhere?
Oh, I put your lights on auto for the pics.
Okay. That's alright, isn't it? Oh, it's here. Right then, onwards to England. We've spent all of 45 minutes in Berlin, and now I can't wait to get out of it.
Apparently Germany has these things called autobahns.
Okay.
I think you can go quite quickly on them.
Right.
So I've heard.
Should we do some research?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, immediate impressions are, this is a race car. We are in a race car and are about to endure 12 hours, 600 PS, over 600 Newton meters of torque, from obviously the same twin-turbo V6 engine that we get. And this has got a whole bunch of updates that over the course of the 12 hours will relay back.
Oh,
but
yes.
I think let's get out of Berlin. We need to make sure that we're heading in the right direction first. It's stiff!
That knocked everything out of my lap. Cameras on the floor, wallets down the side of the seat.
Oh, this is going to be one hell of an experience. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have escaped Berlin and we find ourselves on a de-restricted little bit of the Autobahn. It's still a little bit busy, and that is probably the main priority, that when you're on the Autobahn, you need to be aware of everyone else travelling at a fairly sensible speed. We have got 600 PS, and I think they were saying that this weighs around 1,700 kilos, so quite a heavy car, quite a big car, but I mean, it can chomp the miles. 140, 150, up into 6, 160. Let's off. Yeah, this trip home might go quite quick. Just keep my eyes on the road. And as fast as you can go on an Autobahn, it's also quite notorious for a lot of roadworks which create traffic jams such as this, which balances itself out, seeing as we've got such a long distance to cover. We haven't been out of Berlin that long, and we're on about half a tank.
Yep.
So it's actually quite comfy though, even though it's a
That's why we got the comfort buttons straight on.
Yeah, it's raw, and you can hear a lot of the mechanics of the car, but they've still made it quite comfy.
Seats are very good so far.
Seats are really good, and I've got a bad back. So far, so good. I'm actually going to stretch my back out because the car is stiff, and on the Autobahn, when you can carry some speed, it's definitely a hardcore experience. But this car is essentially inspired by the GT3 car. So there are a few things that have been added to the 2020 model in comparison to the 2017. For example, we've got these louvres here that are carbon fiber. Depending on the positioning in the wheel arch, depends whether they're there to get rid of the upforce that the wheels are creating, or in the GTR's case, air coming into the car here and coming into the engine bay needs to escape somewhere. So this is actually aerodynamically funneling the air down the side of the car, which is really awesome. We've also got carbon ceramic brakes for the first time on the Nissan GTR, and the reason why it's taken so long is because they wanted the best technology and the best material to enable, even when the brakes are cold, for you to have that feel in the pedal, because a lot of carbon ceramic brakes, for the first sort of 10 minutes, if you're just tapping the brakes on road driving, they're a little bit cold and sometimes you don't have too much of a feel. And the way that you can tell that is by the yellow paint on the brake calipers, like Porsche, like other manufacturers that put yellow brake calipers on to give that carbon ceramic feel, is actually, because carbon ceramic brakes can go up to 1,000 degrees, yellow is the only paint that doesn't change colour at that temperature, which is why manufacturers have that colour, which is pretty ridiculous. And then finally, what's so GT3 inspired with the GTR is the turbos. This has got brand new turbos which are lighter, more efficient, giving more feel, much more responsiveness on the throttle pedal so that there's no turbo lag, and fundamentally giving you much more feel in and out of the corners, which you want on a track car like that. So GT3 inspired. It's why Nissan do the endurance racing, so that they can take the technology and put it into the road car, which is pretty awesome. But right now, I need fuel, and I need, food, which is my fuel, and I need a Monster. And luckily, we've got a picnic table just for that. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a very odd corridor with carpeted walls. Anyway, we are back and we are on the journey with Mr. Alex Calms. We're headed to Calais and then back to London today. A fairly easy journey. We did the majority of it yesterday. Around 8 hours on the road yesterday, only about 4 hours on the road today. You went out and did some photos with the car.
I did. I took the car out last night and did some night photos. Very, very cool. There weren't that many cars actually on the streets. It's mainly like a bike and electric scooter city.
So you had the city to yourself?
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds so good. A lot of the streets are really narrow and quite tall, so
okay, it echoed. Right, get in.
Excited to get up here.
Start it up, and I'm going to film the cold start and then us exiting the hotel. Kilometers an hour, Alex. Get that speed down. We're entering more roadworks. But the bad thing about this is we don't have Autobahn anymore. So the first half of yesterday was essentially going through the roadworks and then trying to get as fast as we can in between. But now we're actually set. We're in Belgium to, I think it's 120, which
that's
feels
what we think.
So slow because we were so used to carrying so much speed yesterday. And I'm not going to lie, this part of the journey is fairly tedious, which is why you're driving.
Yeah, you got to do the 180 mile an hour Autobahn runs. I'm doing the 80 kilometers an hour.
Oh no, here we go, look, there's the French border.
Oh my god.
So now we can go 130 kilometers, but we're 45 minutes away from Calais. Once we get back into the UK, I'm hoping and praying that we will be able to feel what this car is like dynamically, even if it's for the last 1 minute of this video. I feel like we've tested its GT capabilities. It's not a bad car. To be able to do long distance drives in, you'd be like, I'd probably just go and buy the road going Nissan GTR, but actually the Nismo is pretty good.
I'd say surprisingly comfortable for what is quite a hard track car.
Yeah. We've made it. And I didn't do any of that. That was like an hour and a half drive. Alex smashed it. And here we are. We're at the Eurotunnel, ready to go back to the UK. Nismo GTR has been a ridiculous thing. What a monster. The more you look at it, the more you realise there's so much that's gone into it.
I'm going to really miss it. I've bonded with it.
Well, I've got it for the next 3 days, so you're going to miss it. I'm going to get to grips with it much more. But in summary, because we've just spent the last 48 hours with this car, we've done around 920 kilometres through Germany, through the Netherlands, through Belgium and through France. And I have to say, it is an incredibly impressive bit of kit. It is as complete as GTRs come. Even on roads, on country roads, it is still a fairly, not tame, but it's a raw experience, but it's not that unrefined. It is still a really enjoyable car and it is still very well adapted to the road. Would I buy one? Has it made me really want to go and spend my money on a GTR? No. But sometimes when I say that, and when I come to that conclusion after driving a car, it's because I don't see the point in the car at all. But I see a point with this. I see why people would spend their money driving one of these cars. It's just not for me. I much prefer going sideways around a track rather than going as quickly as possible. So an amazing car. The improvements are ridiculous, and I love those carbon lues there on the front wheels, and they do serve a purpose. Everything about this car serves a purpose. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, a very rare look at a GTR on my channel. Hopefully I get the opportunity of driving a lot more before I turn 30, and then once I do turn 30, then or after. But I'll see you soon, guys. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, peace out, goodbye.